Welcome, friends. We have a fantastic webinar for you today. We are so excited that you're here and that you've joined us. I would love for you to pop into the chat. We like to know where you're from just because we like to see, where everyone's coming in from and, where we can make friends if we're also in the same area. So I'm Jihei. We're here in Chandler, Arizona. We have made the news. It is hot. It is terrible. We've made bad choices living here, but here we are. We're excited to present a webinar to you with Sarah Kleist. She's so fun. You are going to die because she's going to bring so much info. She's on TikTok, and I don't know about the rest of you. Maybe you're scared of TikTok like I am, but it doesn't need to be a scary thing. And it's another free marketing tool for yourself, for your business. I hope you'll use it. Sarah is also a performer. She lives in New York, which is one of my absolute favorite cities in the whole wide world. And so she's from New York. We're here in Chandler, very different from New York. But I would love for you to tell us where you're from. And also, if you like musicals, what is your favorite musical? Again, just another way for us to connect. I personally love musicals. My husband loves musicals. I recently watched In the Heights, which was another Lin-Manuel Miranda production. It was incredible. I loved it. It's on HBO Max. You can also watch it in the theater. There's not an ad for HBO Max, but I happen to have it because I watched the Friends reunion on it too. So let us know if you are into musicals, or if you're not into musicals, you can give us a little thumbs down. That's all right. Oh, Elizabeth is also from New York, so that's great. I know I asked Sarah this question yesterday, so she is also a Lin-Manuel Miranda fan because she loves Hamilton. And of course, we got some Hamilton all up in here. Ooh, Mamma Mia, also fantastic. I saw that on stage. It was so beautiful, like all the colors and just like the pastels. It was great. Ooh, hello from London. Yes, and you loved Lion King. You saw it when it came out in New York ages ago. Lion King on stage, you would think like, how could you make that happen? And they did it, and it was absolutely incredible. Loved Lion King. Great choice, Anna. Les Mis from Dina. My husband, that's his favorite. He lives at hello from Seattle, Fort Worth, Texas. People in Texas also melting. So hello, friends. We are in the summer, but we are so thankful that you are joining us today. So I hope you have your notepads out. Don't have your phone out because that'll just distract you. But if you aren't following Sarah Kleist on TikTok already, then you definitely want to follow her there, Kleist. But don't do that yet. She's about to tell us all the magic of TikTok. So just get ready for the info and to be just entertained by how magical and fun Sarah is. So over to you, Sarah.
Hello, I'm Sarah Kleist. Wow, truly what an intro. Love a musical theater Broadway moment. Okay, so basically I am obsessed with TikTok. I think it is like the greatest app that has come to life. And so I have found a little bit of success there and threw together a little TikTok workshop with my friends here at Show It. So I'm super excited. Let's start the presentation. Are we there? Is the presentation on yet? I can't see. Is it there? Okay, perfect. Amazing. Okay, hello. So this is my Grow on TikTok presentation specifically for creative business owners, but I do feel like these strategies can be used by truly anyone, whether you just want to be an influencer or you're an artist yourself, or truly anything that you want to promote on TikTok. Okay, a little bit about me. I am a brand and web designer and also a performing artist. I know it's a lot, just pandemic things. I'm also a TikToker and self-proclaimed queen of LaCroix. And if you're like, why should I listen to this gal? It's because in 2020, I used pretty much this entire framework that's in this presentation to help 3 different businesses go absolutely viral. I helped one author reach the Amazon bestseller list. I built my own following there. I get clients from there. I have worked with brands and gotten features from TikTok. And I have made like legitimate, amazing friends and expanded my network on TikTok. So honestly, like I I cannot imagine doing these things on Instagram. I'm also just bad at Instagram, but TikTok is like a great place to do all of these things. So I very much believe in it. Okay, part 1, the TikTok paradox. So the most important thing about starting an account on TikTok is starting from a place of intention. I think that unlike Instagram, where everything's very curated and people are, business owners are using it as like a curated space, I feel like TikTok, like Gen Z culture has really seeped its way into TikTok. And so even though there are like lots of Gen X, I would say less boomers, but Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z on TikTok, I feel like Gen Z culture has seeped its way into it in the way that authenticity is like the most important thing. And so people can tell when you're showing up to actually help, to be of service, to spread ideas, versus, when you're just showing up to be famous or build a following or whatever. So start from a place of intention to actually show up and help people. And then, but the thing is, in order to change the world with our amazing ideas and knowledge and whatever on TikTok, we have to make the algorithm happy. So like this whole webinar is just going to be like, how do you make the algorithm happy so that you can get information out into the world? And then I also just want to preface this by saying that everything I'm about to say, like in an ideal world, you would like follow all these rules, or I would even follow all these rules. I don't always follow these rules. Break them when you need to. Be smart about it. Take what you like, leave what you don't. None of these are hard and fast, just some ideas and some things that I have noticed over my year plus of being on the platform. Okay, so since I feel like there's still like not a lot of people on TikTok, I feel like, Instagram is still very much like the main platform. I wanted to just do a TikTok 101. If you are like me and you're like, I'm on TikTok every single night for like 3 hours, maybe just, tune out or scroll for a couple of minutes while I explain. So the For You page is where all the action happens on TikTok. So on Facebook, we have the news feed. On Instagram, we have whatever, I don't know what they call it, like the main feed on Instagram. On TikTok, it's called the For You page. So basically, unlike Instagram and Facebook, where the main feed is showing you like your friends' content or the people that you follow's content, the For You page is different in that it is showing you probably 90% of content that is like curated by the algorithm that the algorithm thinks you will like, and probably 10% of your following content or your followers, the people that you follow content. It's kind of cool because that means that the app is sort of built on a like value system of like being discovery driven. So like the whole point is to discover new ideas, which is so exciting for you because you will probably end up being one of these new ideas that is discoverable. There's also another tab to the left. If you like tab over, it's the following tab. And that is where like everyone you follow, if you were like, I want to see the content of the people that I follow, you can go over to that tab. But I would say most people don't use it. And if you are just starting out on TikTok, you'll like very quickly understand why. It's like way more fun to be on the For You page. With that said, when you post, it is not guaranteed that your followers will ever see it, which I think is true on Instagram too. But basically, because so much of the experience on TikTok is seeing like new curated content from the algorithm than the people you follow, you may not see the people you follow's content. And therefore, if you're posting content, the people that follow you might not see it. So for context, I think I have like 62,000 followers on TikTok, but my average post gets like 5 to 10K views. And actually within the last month, I've been experimenting on there and I've been posting every day. And so that plus like the openings, and I feel like people are just like less on the internet now than they were. I feel like it's kind of down now from that. Also, the thing about TikTok is it has a different culture. So like, I feel like people give away likes, shares, and follows way more freely than they do on Instagram. I feel like because even if you're just like a person in the world posting on Instagram, like not sharing business content, whatever, like you're just like sharing your wedding or sharing your family gatherings or whatever. I feel like I feel like the follow to following ratio is like weirdly important on Instagram. Like everyone wants to have more followers than they are following. But on TikTok, there are way less creators. There's way less people posting because it's like a new app and like video content is weird for some people. So I feel like the culture is different in that people just like follow the people that they don't know but like really like. And that's just like seeped into the whole thing with TikTok, which I find to be really cool. Okay, so the big bad A word, algorithm, like I feel like whenever people are talking about TikTok, it always follows up with like algorithm. The algorithm is like a huge deal, and so let's chat about it. So views are dependent on watch time, shares, likes, and follows, and comments. Basically, the two main goals when you're creating content is keep people watching and get them to engage. So basically what happens is if you post a 15-second video and on average people are watching 14.5 seconds of it, that means TikTok recognizes that and is like, cool, I'm going to show this video to more people. And even better, if they follow you from it, if they share it with their friends, and likes and comments are like less important, I think, but it still helps. So really focusing on shareable content that people will watch all the way through is going to be your biggest ticket to success. No one knows. They've never come out right out and said like, in the order of events, like what is going to be the most important to hit. But I'm pretty sure watch time and shares and follows, like if you can get, if you can really optimize those three things, your videos will do well. Okay, starting your account. So here is the thing. You may want to start a new account. If you have an account that you just use for your personal scrolling and like enjoying yourself and whatever, and you want to start one for either your business or whatever you're trying to start on TikTok, you may want to start a new account for many reasons. One of them being TikTok prioritizes new creators. So basically, because it's like discovery driven, the platform knows that their whole thing, like the thing that makes TikTok so cool is that like literally in a second you can have a viral video. You could start out with like 0 followers and in a day get like 90,000. There's like a famous marketer and I forget what her name is, but I think she's like a copywriter or something, but she literally got 90,000 followers on her first ever video because that's just like how TikTok works. So because it prioritizes new creators, the first 5-ish posts are the most important. And I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit more in a few minutes, but like TikTok wants to discover and learn more about you. And so one of the ways that it can do that is testing, like pretty much like A/B testing, like which videos, whatever videos you're posting, it's like testing it on different audiences to learn more about you. So because of that, before you post, you're going to want to decide what your whole account is going to be about, whether it's your business or anything. And unfortunately, niches are really important. I'm someone who's like, obviously I'm like so many things. I'm like a web designer and I'm also like a performing art. Like I feel like people contain multitudes, and like one of my values is like people contain multitudes. So I like hate this about TikTok, but niches are really important because if you're going to be talking about something, people will follow you and then they will expect you to keep talking about that thing. And then if you don't talk about that thing, then they won't watch your video long enough. And then when they don't watch your video long enough, then your videos don't do well. So take this from personal experience. So for context, I talk a lot about web design now, but my most ever viral video was a planner video about this like cool planner company that I'm obsessed with. And so I got like 20,000 followers from this planner video. And now like that means like a third of my following really doesn't care about my web design content right now. They just mostly want to hear more about planners, which is not great, which is why I'm considering starting a new account. So you may also want to. Okay, with the idea that TikTok prioritizes new accounts and that the first 5-ish videos are going to be the most important. If you're really going to optimize this, if you spend the first week teaching the algorithm about you before you post your first video. So if you like really want to start an account off on the right foot, and I've seen this happen time and time again with newer creators who are now like absolutely thriving. If you spend a week and you literally go in and search, like, for me, in my case, like other web designers, other marketers, copywriters, just like people in my area. And then I'm teaching the algorithm about me for a week, and then I post my first couple of videos about those specific topics. The algorithm's going to go, oh, cool. Okay. She is into those things. She's probably talking about those things. So then they're going to show my video to other people who are going to care about those things. And then, okay, hashtags are kind of funny because I feel like on Instagram, they're like hashtags are like the thing on Instagram. In theory, if you have a niched account where you are talking about something very specific, in theory, you won't have to use hashtags ever again past like the first, I don't even know, like 2 weeks maybe. Because if I'm hashtagging web design and then all the people that are following me like web design content, then it's going to know, oh, this girl talks about web design. You don't have to hashtag it. But if you're like me and you accidentally went viral for something, you may want to use hashtags to sort of just tell the algorithm like, hey, this is what this post is about. And then hopefully it will find the right people. Like I said, in theory, hashtags are only important in the beginning. And then also you can hashtag the audience you want to reach, not the content. So maybe just like pay attention to what other people in your niche are hashtagging or what other successful videos in your niche are hashtagging. That can be really helpful. Okay, so let's talk about content. I feel like this is the part that people are like, this all sounds amazing, but literally what do I post? I literally have no idea. So TikTok content has to fall into one of these categories: inspiring, shocking, entertaining, educational, relatable, or honestly just downright weird. Essentially shareable content. Just think to yourself, while I'm scrolling the For You page, what do I like to share, or what do I follow someone for? What exactly do they say that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll follow this person? Just like get really analytical about it. In terms of content, the first second of your video matters literally more than anything. So I forget everything you know about a climactic journey. I studied theater before, like I was a very avid writer as a child. Like I know like exposition, the start of a problem, the middle, the climax, and the resolution. Just like remove that from your brain because you're going to want to start with the climax, do whatever is like most exciting at the beginning, and then explain whatever just happened throughout the video. You will have just basically hooked people. When you're editing your video, make sure each millisecond serves a specific purpose. So literally, as you're rewatching your video, ask yourself in literally every millisecond, why should the audience care? If you go to my account, you'll see that I talk at the camera a lot. And I also am just like, I'm kind of a slow talker. I use like a lot of likes. I'm sure you're noticing right now. I use a lot of likes. I use a lot of ums. I'm just overall, like, I feel like my brain moves faster than my mouth does. So when I create videos, if I'm talking at the camera, I have to literally split up my thoughts and ideas into separate clips. But then literally how I will edit it is I will edit it so that the clip starts at the literal millisecond that my word starts and then cuts at the literal millisecond that my word cuts. So like there is just zero dead space. People will scroll if there's dead space because we live in a society where our attention spans are trash. So just make sure there's no dead space or any point in which your video is like boring, essentially. With that, keep up the pace because our attention span is non-existent. So like I said, if you're talking at your videos a lot, either learn how to be a much faster talker or split up your thoughts and ideas. Also movement. So this is something that I never do. So like literally do not hold me accountable to this, but this is really helpful. And I see a lot of really successful people doing this where they will, if they're talking at the camera, they'll like pop into frame in the right at the beginning, or like maybe if you start a video and you're like moving outside or you're like showing someone something and you're like, come with me, and like people can see like your house and like you're walking down the hallways or whatever, like any kind of movement that you can sort of cultivate is really helpful. You will see also a lot of people will like do hot takes on like opinions they have, and they'll like pick up like a soda. They'll start the camera, they'll pick up a soda, take a sip of the soda, and then do their hot take. And it's like, okay, you set that up to like take a sip of your soda and then start your thing. But it's really effective because people like watching the movement of that. I don't know why. And okay, brevity. So what is the simplest way you can say or do any particular thing? So one of the biggest lessons I've learned from TikTok is that I have been in a bubble of the way people think about things. And so sometimes I'll create content about something like, I don't even know, like a website or whatever. And someone will comment something like a question or something of something that I have completely never once even thought of. So it has honestly for me been just like a lesson of like, wow, people have like so many different ways of thinking in the world, and their brains go so many different places. So really the simplest way that you can explain anything is the best. And then overall, like bring your energy to the content. Authenticity really, really matters. I was talking about this in the beginning of the webinar as well, but I just think like, because it's video, we can really get a sense of like your energy and what you're bringing, and whether you're being fake or not, or, you know, it's not like Instagram where it's just like a curated, beautiful moment. And that was also something that when I started, I was like, I like didn't know what to post, because in my brain, I had this thing in my head of like, oh, like I want my feed to like look beautiful and like cohesive. And that's like not the thing on TikTok at all. Like be messy, be authentic, like be in your bedroom. Literally, I'm in my bedroom. Like, you know, just be yourself. If you are promoting a business on TikTok, always give free value. So anything that you would ever write a blog post about or create an Instagram carousel about, do that stuff on TikTok. People really like it. And hook us in the beginning like a blog post. So like your first sentence could literally be whatever your blog post title is, but just like, I don't know, make it more conversational. Something that I see a lot of, especially like product businesses do, that is not great, is like selling. Like also like small businesses, but also big businesses. Like you'll see like Taco Bell will like run ads or whatever, and you're like, people just scroll. Like we know we're being sold to by Taco Bell, and like a lot of people are like showing their candle businesses or whatever, and like being like, please buy my candle, whatever. And you'll just scroll because obviously, you know, you're being sold to. So give free value, educate your viewers. That is the best way to show up as a business owner on TikTok, I think. This is just like a pro tip from me. Act on your ideas right away, because literally every single time I have a great TikTok idea, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make that in like a couple days. And then I swear to God, I will be scrolling and someone else will have done it and it'll have like 4 million views. So literally act on your ideas right away. I don't know if any of you have ever read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, but it's a book on creativity. And essentially she says, like, if you don't act on your ideas, the idea muse will give them to someone else. I never understood what she meant until I was on TikTok. And then I was like, damn, like I'm missing out on so many good video ideas. Also a misconception, trends are really fun, but you do not have to follow them. I think I have followed maybe 3 trends in my whole time on TikTok, and none of those videos did well. And it's like the other content of mine does just fine. So this is a huge misconception. I feel like when people think like, oh, like TikTok, that's like where everyone's dancing. And I'm like, no, unless you're on the app, no. But also you do not have to follow the trends, I promise. Okay, quantity of posting. You don't have to post every day. It helps. However, I will say right now, because it's summer and the mask mandates are lifted and people are like finally able to be with their friends and family again, I think engagement overall is down right now specifically. But I will say, like, psychologically speaking, the more people see you, the more they will trust and like you. I also think that if you are posting consistently, you will get better at posting. You'll create better content. I mean, practice makes perfect, right? And also, you may just find your thing. So, someone who is an actor that I have done a fair amount of shows with, she and I started doing TikTok at the same time. And I was like, great, well, I only have time to post like once a week, so I'm going to do that. This queen literally posted 4 times a day for like the entire pandemic, which that's like a normal thing on TikTok, by the way. Which that's another difference with Instagram. I feel like Instagram is like, you can't do that, but TikTok people literally post like so often. But so this girl posted 4 times a day and like was slowly gaining traction. But then now she has 1.2 million followers and is like famous on the app. And like, I don't think it was because she posted 4 times a day. I think it was because through posting 4 times a day, she figured out what people want to see from her. And like, she ended up coining this whole phrase. You might know her, and her name is Deanna Giletti. Her whole thing is like the ooh to da. So she'll like show off her outfit every day. She's like very charming and people love it. And she probably found that like 5 months into posting often. So honestly, just like experimentation, figuring out what people want to see from you. That's why I think posting a lot would help, but also like algorithmically, you do not have to post every day. I think that's a misconception. Here's another thing. If you're charming, you don't need a niche. That's just a life lesson, I think, in that if you are charming, people will listen to what you say, no matter what you're talking about. So if you are someone who has like been told their whole lives, like, oh, I just like, you're just so charming and love listening to you, just get on TikTok. Thank me later. Okay, perfect. And then I wanted to show you guys a couple examples of successful business content. So basically using like sort of some of the videos that I've found that are really cool that use a lot of the frameworks that I've been talking about. I also just want to preface this by saying that 2 out of the 4 of these videos are like shot and edited like beautifully. Pay way less attention to that because I think these videos like without that would still have done really well, and focus more on the actual content of the video. Okay, so first I want to start with this photography guy. He is a photographer. He is really cool. And in this video, I would say pay attention to how he uses up every single moment. He's using a lot of movement to fit with the music. And it's also extremely educational. If you want to roll the tape. Okay, so obviously like beautifully shot, but also I think like because he was like, I'm gonna set it to music, he's like, great, I'm gonna do some like crazy wild thing, and then I'm gonna show 4 examples of how to pose when you're a man in front of a camera, which I think is really cool. Okay, this second girl, this is like very much more of a like, I'm in my bedroom just like giving you educational content video. I would say pay attention to how she's cutting the video so that there's 0 dead space, and how like she doesn't wait to show us. She doesn't, take us through the whole process of doing this makeup thing that she's going to do. She just like is like, okay, they're going to get it, and then they'll just replay the video if they need to see it. Can roll it.
Blush contouring is one of my favorite things ever. It's exactly what it sounds like, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Just like normal contouring, your placement depends on your face shape. I have a rounder face, so I like to place mine up higher to kind of snatch it. So you could completely opt out of using any type of bronzer throughout this process, but I'm going to use bronzer on one side and just blush on the other, just so you can like see the options. Okay, this is the Hoola bronzer, and I'm just going to place it really high, like onto my temple like that, and buff it out, blending it up. So then grab your blush. I like NARS Dolce Vita. Don't be afraid to just put a shit ton of blush and put it on your temple and go up, like drag your face up. Make a C shape like this. So that's what it looks like with bronzer underneath. I'm gonna do the side just blush. And since I'm just doing blush, I'm gonna make it really pigmented. So again, just start off packing it on the temple and work your way up into the C shape, and just keep doing this until it's blended enough. and put as much as you want and highlight anywhere that you normally would. This is a very 80s beauty trend and it's making a comeback. You should try it out.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So obviously a makeup artist teaching us stuff, but there's like zero dead space, and the whole time she's like doing stuff. Okay, this next video is the video that like whenever people ask me like, Sarah, how do you start a TikTok account? I send them this video because like if you are just starting a new account on TikTok, this is like the best way to start an account. Pay attention to her incredible hook, like that first millisecond in the video, how she is stirring up controversy in like a kind of, in like a good way, not in like a way that's going to get her in trouble for anything. And then also like, yeah, it's just a great first video, and she like has a great call to action at the end. So yeah, go for it.
Welcome to Rich Talk. It's the first day of 2021, and I, your new rich BFF, am going to teach you ways on how to grow your wealth with my best financial literacy tips and tricks. So here's the thing. I've been scrolling through my For You page, and I've seen some pretty sketchy financial advice going around, whether that's let's go all in on Bitcoin or day trading. It's risky, it's volatile, and it's a lot more complicated than you're probably led to believe. So I don't have any get-rich-quick schemes here, but I will help you with practical tips and knowledge on how to level up your financial literacy. I'm a big nerd with a background on Wall Street. I've done strategy sales in the tech industry, and I have a health is wealth mindset. So we're gonna share a lot of tips on how to grow your own wealth, because being rich should really be for all of us. We'll cover topics like budgeting, saving for retirement, and investing. And the best part is we'll do it together.
Yes. So I love this. I love that she's like, don't listen to all these guys on your For You page that are like telling you to buy whatever. Like, I don't know. I love it. I think it's great. And then the last video is a chef. And then again, this is also like beautifully shot, but I don't think it really needs to be. But you know, even though he's talking about food and how to make this recipe, he is showing his face. So he's establishing a personal connection, which is really important. And then also pay attention to his wonderful hook that also is a little controversial.
I don't know how to put this lightly, but store-bought salad dressing could never. Scale this up if you need, but I like a 1/4 cup of good olive oil, an equal amount of vinegar. I like a blend of red wine and champagne. See how it doesn't mix? Add a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. This will make it emulsified and creamy, and you can't really taste it. Dressing is your salad seasoning, so season it up. And I like to add a little bit of fresh citrus. Shake it up and taste it. If it's too sour, I like to add a little bit of maple syrup. I've done more gourmet versions, but this is perfect for a weeknight. And it lasts like at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just love that his first sentence is like, store-bought dressing could never. Like, because now there's probably people in the comments being like, well, my favorite store-bought dressing is blah, 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 all the while he's getting all the great engagement. So tips and tricks. Amazing. So those are just some examples of like really great business content, in my opinion. Okay, so some of the ways that I have found to be really helpful to brainstorm content ideas is by seeing what other people are doing. So literally in the beginning, I would just sit on my For You page and I would be like, okay, what makes this video successful? What are they doing? Like, what did they do? How can I recreate it? And like the thing with recreation culture on TikTok is like, if something's a trend, like you don't have to credit anyone. But if you're like, if you've seen one successful video, like definitely credit the other person in your caption. However, like if it's different enough that you're like, oh, this concept worked for them and I can take it and use it, then you don't have to credit anyone. Just be smart about that. Just like, don't be mean about it. But yeah, just like see what other people are doing. And in no time, I'm sure you will catch up. And then, okay, some tips and tricks. So edit your videos inside of the app as much as you can. Because TikTok, you know, is like, they want to make sure that you're using their app. They prioritize videos that are created in the app. Obviously, like 2 of the examples that I showed you were probably edited in Final Cut or something crazy, but edit the videos inside of the app as much as you can. Always use captions. They now have a caption generator that does it automatically. It's pretty good at picking up what you're saying, but you might have to change a word here and there. But, mostly it's inclusive, which we want to be, and it increases watch time because people will read along the captions with you while you speak. So we love captions. Post on weeknights. I would say as a general rule, that is the case. I feel like people are way less on TikTok on the weekends. And also, honestly, right now, it's just slow in general. But I feel like in the fall, when it's freezing, at least on my part of the world, not in Arizona, but when it's freezing in the fall, I'm sure people will be back on TikTok. But, if you have a specific audience, you can always also think of when that specific audience might be online. But yeah, I have found, for me, weeknights are the most successful. And then with that said, spend some time on TikTok before and after you post. So the longer that you use the app, the more views. Unfortunately, it is an app where they also want to make money, so they want to keep you on the app. So if you are already on the app scrolling and engaging, you might as well just post then. It'll help your algorithm situation. Something you can do that I find to be really helpful, switch your account to a creator account so that you can analyze your analytics. And honestly, the best thing in terms of analyzing analytics for me was you can go back and see what the average watch time of your video was. So let's say I made like a 14-second video. I could go back, and if it's like, okay, the average watch time is 9.5 seconds, then I'll go back and I'll watch my video and, see what did I do at 9.5 seconds that made people scroll away. And therefore, then I can make my content better. You can also go live to push the algorithm. So like I said, the friend of mine who now has 1.2 million followers, she went live all the time, and that was one of her things that she did. Not only will the algorithm push your content, but you will create relationships with your viewers, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what you want. Also, you'll notice, like, if you're scrolling on the For You page, a lot of times the viral videos that you are seeing, the person you can see on the right hand side is live. And so you can assume, like, oh, the algorithm is pushing that content because it's live. Using call to actions. So, you can say at the end of your video, like, follow for more tips or whatever. People really do respond to those. That is something across the board, marketing wise, that I think really works. Okay. Yes. I think you cannot put links in your TikTok until you have 1,000 followers. But once you have 1,000 followers, put your website in your profile. You can put either a link tree or, like, if you have a links page on your website. And also, if you have any lead magnets to build your email list, people really do go in there. And something that I did that I found to be really successful, literally within like 2 videos, I grew my email list from like 60 to like 1,400 or something wild, simply because I wrote a blog post about something, and then I made a TikTok video that like outlined just like the simple concepts of that blog post. And then in my caption, I was like, more details on this at the link in bio at the link in bio in my profile. And people would go, instead of going to the blog post, they would go to the lead magnet, and then they would sign up for my email list. And so that was like wild. So definitely utilize lead magnets and link trees and websites as soon as you're able to in your TikTok profile. And also tell us what we can expect in your bio. That's like across the board. So you can say, I help photographers, something. Tell us what we can expect. And then people will be more likely to follow you for that content. Oh, Reels. Okay. Reels is like a whole other thing, but essentially with Reels, because they're in direct competition with TikTok, they don't want to promote content where there is a TikTok watermark. So you have to use an outside downloading site for Reels. I believe I think the URL of the one that I use is SSSTik. So SSSTIK.com. And if you put the link to the video that you want to download, you can just download straight from there. Oh no, it's not .com, it's .io. SSSTIK.io. You can download your TikTok videos without the watermark and then repost to Reels. The thing about Reels is that Reels can only be 30 seconds. So you can only repurpose so much. But yeah, also Reels is like a whole other thing. And that algorithm is wild. Don't even begin to ask me about the Reels algorithm. And then, okay, lastly, have fun. Like, it's supposed to be fun. I feel like I just got through 45 minutes of explaining all these rules, but truly, it's supposed to be fun. It's such a fun app. I have learned so much from other people on that app, like tips and tricks, life hacks, like recipes, like rooftop bars in New York City that I want to try, just like all these insane things. So really, overall, just have fun. Don't stress. And that's the end.
Thank you, Sarah. I have to admit that we are doing this webinar because Sarah posted a video that she found us, fortunately through a Facebook ad. So thank you for that, Facebook. And so Sarah is also a website designer, as she mentioned, and she used to use another platform. They shall go unnamed. And she made the most ridiculous video because one of our support guys found it and was like, oh, look, someone's talking about us on TikTok. And she's like, look, guys, you can move this picture. Like, you can make it bigger. You can, like, turn it around. And we were like, that's it? That's what you're amazed by? Okay. And that video has gotten, like, 100,000 views or something and 20,000 likes. And so it made us all laugh here at Show It in, like, the best way possible. But what she's talking about, like, just finding a simple thing and making content out of it was, like, flabbergasting. So anyway, I've been a big Sarah fan ever since then. And so we're all doing what we can, right, with what we have. So we have some great questions for you, Sarah. So I know you can answer them. So here we go. Our very first one was from, let's pick, who do we got? Sorry, hold on. I lost them. I wrote them down and I lost them. Okay. Anna asked, do you edit in the app or suggest using another app, which you actually did talk about. So for those who missed it, she said edit in app if you can, right? Do you have anything more to add to that?
I mean, unless your thing is like videography and you're like, I mean, definitely if you're like a videographer, like wow us with your skills. I think people like that too, but algorithmically, I think definitely edit an app if you can.
That's a great tip for sure. And then Duo Collective, which they're from Minnesota, and they also love you. They wrote that, hey, Sarah, we love you. They asked, do you recommend posting the same videos on TikTok to Instagram or vice versa? Like, does it work to post on Instagram and then make that into a TikTok video?
I think so. I've been trying this. And what's interesting is I think the types of content that catch on Instagram and TikTok are so wildly different. Like, you might as well post all of it, right? That's my my idea. But I had on my personal account, not on my personal Instagram account, not my design Instagram account, I posted this random video that I was like, oh, well, let me just post this. Like, it did nothing on TikTok. And then it got 1 million views on Reels. And I was like, what? Like, it seems like, I don't know. It just seems like, that's why I don't understand Reels, because I'm like, I don't understand what the difference is here. Like, nothing happened on TikTok. But I mean, yeah, why not? Go ahead, post it all.
I love it. Shanice was wondering if she needs to make a new account, because you mentioned it briefly, and I'm also questioning if we need a new one here at Show It as well, because I have not used any of these real tips that you've given us today, and so I'm like, ooh, do we need to restart this whole situation? What are your thoughts? Go.
I think if you are using it for like just funny things, or like, I guess it depends on what you think the algorithm knows you for doing. Like, if you already feel like you have niche interests anyway, and you feel like the For You page is like feeding you like that content, and then that's the content you're going to post. Like, even if your first 5 videos like didn't pop off or anything, like I feel like it's fine to keep that same account. But if you're just using it for entertainment purposes and you just like follow comedians or just like random people that you know, or like, you know, just like if you haven't taught the algorithm anything specific that you want to use the account for, then maybe try creating a second account and keep that one as like your entertainment purposes, like I'm scrolling at 9 p.m. before bed account. You know what I mean?
That's a great tip. I love that. And then we have one more question from Cassie. She asked, could you make a video in a third-party app and then use it on TikTok and Instagram? Like, if you, what would you recommend if you were to do that?
I think people do. For me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to like the TikTok editing, like software now. Like I'm like, okay, I know how to do this quickly. But if you're used to a different like video editing app, then go for it. I just think, I don't know. It also depends. Like you could also do it the opposite, where you create something in Reels and then post it to TikTok. I guess it depends on what platform you are prioritizing. But I mean, yeah, you can use a third-party app.
Obviously, for the most part, just use the tools that are given to you on that platform because they like that.
Yeah, they do. Especially if you're using, like sometimes there's like effects on TikTok that go viral. So recently there was like a filter where like you just put it on your face and then it's like some girl running through Versailles or whatever.
Yes,
like,
I've seen that.
Yeah, like if it's like a viral filter or something, they might actually push that because they're like, oh, we made this and like it's viral and you know you're using it, so let's push this. But yeah, I don't know. I would say, I don't know. I'm partial to creating in TikTok, so I'm biased, but
no, that makes sense for sure. Guys, I just feel like we kind of a little bit drank through a fire hose here. So I hope you guys can take everything that Sarah said and just pick and choose the things that you feel like you can do immediately to be successful on TikTok and then go from there. And then honestly, if you have a pretty new handle and no one else knows about it, then, you know, just start again. If you think that you'll be a little more consistent or be able to implement the things that Sarah has taught us. I think that's so great. I hope we can, I don't know, also support each other and feel like we can have a community that's like, oh man, I was sitting in a webinar with this person. I want to keep them going too. So thank you to everyone who commented. If you have any more questions, you guys can reach Sarah. She has a beautiful Show It website that she designed herself. So she's at sarahkleist.com. You can also follow her on TikTok to really see how the magic happens. And she's Kleist on TikTok. And Sarah, is there anything else you'd like our people to know about you or any other things that they can do to connect with you?
No, those are going to be the main two places, I would say. I'm also on Instagram at, my personal page is at Sarah Kleist, and then I have a design Instagram that's at Kleist Creative. Just so many platforms.
Many platforms. We're all trying to survive on all of them, right?
Yes.
I love it. Well, friends, thank you again for tuning in. We're just so thankful for all of you. We love putting on these webinars for you. After we shut this one down, it will also be available to rewatch. So check it out. Feel free to peruse our YouTube page because we have all of our past webinars on there as well. And we hope you will join us again for our next one. Thanks.
Yay.